Hello and welcome to the stream to number 29 of the Digital Homicides Discussional podcast stream thingy. With me, as always, is Lothar in the background, and we are talking about difficult games today, and we try to make it short. So let's start this. Hello, Mr. Lothar.
Hi, Triton. Hi, everyone.
Ah, I'm so dark. Why am I so dark? Ah, I messed up because I didn't switch my stream deck to the podcast. So wait, I have to, to change my video settings here for a second. All right. So yeah, like I mentioned, we're talking about difficult games. Oh god, what is happening here? Okay, that's better. That should work. All right.
Yeah, and well, I I did mention that to you, but I want to mention it again. Second season of Netflix's Witcher was released. Can you play the clip that I sent you?
Oh, this one.
Yeah,
uh, I prepared a browser here in the background already.
isn't it 28?
Fucking shit. What's the point? I can't take it anymore.
Oh my god, that's funny. I have to sample that for my stream deck.
Yeah, this is basically a meme in here.
uh, so I
Uh,
didn't I didn't watch the first season yet, so I cannot say too much really. But yeah, I yeah.
eh?
Huh?
Give me a second. I think I'm having an existential crisis because of my brother right now.
Oh, okay.
One second.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have family in the background. I think he said something that Lothar is not really. Um,
Fine.
you good?
No, but yeah, okay. Let's continue.
I okay. Yeah. We can talk about that later, I think.
Uh, yeah, definitely.
Some funny shit. Well, that happens when you have family in the background.
It's not on the background, it's on Steam.
Ah, okay.
Okay, difficult games.
Yes.
Basically, we wanted to have this talk in the last months, tied to release of Dead Cells DLC and upcoming release of Elden Ring. Well, a time of upcoming release of Elden Ring.
Yeah, Lothar knows more about Elden Ring now. He kinda plays it. I don't.
I'm more suffering with it than play
But I've seen a few people play the game where I wouldn't have expected to ever see them play a game like that. So I'm
it.
even more tempted to get it now.
I think that's basically the same thing that happened with Dark Souls 3. When Dark Souls 3 was released, a lot more people got into this game who never played previous two entries
Yeah, but I
or
think
games.
I think that has also to do with the marketing that was a bit broader and more reaching out to, I don't want to say casual players, but to a broader base of gamers.
Yeah, it's definitely not for a casual player. In places, Dark Souls 3 much harder than Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 1.
Yeah,
Other
but
way around, Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2.
I think it feels a bit more fluid than the first one, maybe. I mean, I played all
Yes.
three of them, and it is, I think, the most accessible. I mean, it's still Dark Souls, and you feel it everywhere. But when you actually change the controls so they work for you, like on my end, because that was the most, or the most issues I have are just with the controls. And besides the fact that it's really a slow-paced game, it's all but a fast game, which made it even more funny when I read something like about another game in a review. It's such a slow game, unlike Dark Souls, and I was like, what?
What? Who said it's
in
such
in
a
com- in comparison to Hellblade.
Hellblade slower than Dark Souls?
Yeah. And I was like, no, the fights feel a bit faster actually. She rolls faster, the animations are faster. Uh, so yeah, even running feels faster. It is not the fastest, but yeah, that was my reaction as well. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just say I, I find it hard to believe.
Yeah, I was the same. If I find it again, that review, I'm gonna show you. But I think it was a Hellblade review. Somebody was expecting an action game, and well, Hellblade isn't an action game. It's a walking simulator with some puzzles and some fights sprinkled in. And yeah, I mean the boss fights are a bit harder, but besides that, it's not the hardest game. So it doesn't fit in that talk anyway.
I basically try to compare that in speed wise. Let's just say if you're a casual player, then Dark Souls, no matter how fluid or short some sections might be, if you're a casual player, they'll be a much more time consuming for you.
Hmm.
Specifically when you don't know where to go.
Yeah, that is one of my problems in Mortal Shell, for example.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. I know what you're talking about. I played this game.
but I read
Right?
that it's mostly in the first 3 hours or so where it is a bit less having directions or giving you an easier way to go to places or something. At the beginning, I mean, I played it for 2 or 3 hours and I wanted to continue it because it is kinda Souls-like game. It is a bit easier than Souls, still a
It's
hard game.
definitely easier. It's not faster than Dark Souls, but it's definitely much easier. And to be honest, I didn't have much problem with that game, even with boss fights. This hardening mechanic is definitely good thing.
Oh yeah, definitely, it's a lifesaver.
And if developer if developer would be able to make all the same things but with procedurally generated environment, that it would be not Souls-like but 3D roguelike,
Hmm.
and with randomized items as well.
There is I think it was an update or a DLC for the game that actually added a roguelike mode.
Yeah, I know. I have it, and it's roguelike in roguelite way.
Hmm.
It's still a pre-made environment that you used to play with, but right now you must not go from one place to another, but find some pillars, source of power. I don't know how to describe it.
Hmm.
Activate them, and when you activate enough of them, you'll be transported to either to the new area or to the boss fight and then to new area. I don't
Hmm.
remember exactly.
Yeah, so I was thinking about playing it again, but it's so confusing in the first 2 hours or so that I mostly died because I didn't find where to go, and then my health was just too low or something, and it, I was I was just running around like a headless chicken, you know.
Yeah,
Where do I get? And then I found one area. You find a person somewhere in a tunnel or in a cave or something, which is also
Grisha.
kinda by luck that you find that, and then you get a little bit of direction, and half an hour later you're lost again. So I was like, I'm sorry, I have no fucking idea where to go. I went in that direction, that direction, that direction.
Yeah,
I,
I know what you're talking about.
I
I
don't get
had
it.
basically the same idea. And
And
I'm going to be completely honest. You basically have, how should I say it, three loops coming from the central area. And those
mhm,
three loops all have enter to one of the three locations that you must clean up.
mhm.
So
Okay.
basically, whenever you will go, you will end up in the area you must be.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I went in circles or something. At
And yeah, when you
yeah.
come to this location, it's just a linear pass.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I try it again. So yeah, but
I
that's
feel
one
like
of the
it should be
games.
darker.
That's fine. I'm just too dark because my lighting is not that good anymore, and my camera kind of switched earlier, so I can lighter. All right, talk about Elden Ring because now you don't have to think about how it might be. You know how it is. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I basically want to talk about uh, how should I put it? Hard games in general and this pride and accomplishment, and not EA's pride and accomplishment. But yeah, okay. Talking about Elden Ring, it's it have a lot of stuff that you've seen in either Sekiro or Dark Souls. You have some movesets that was reused. You have some animations that was reused, and so on and so forth. But it still feels fresh. It does not feel completely like Dark Souls, but yeah, it's definitely more into Dark Souls territory than in Sekiro territory.
Mm,
But again, stuff like jump button, horse, reworked magic, reworked stat system, already making this game, putting this game in a different category than the. Well, okay, it's the same category, same. You fucked up by picking up this game. Now
mm.
take a seat and relax your. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is feeling like Dark Souls, but not like Dark Souls, but a bit evolved Dark Souls, basically.
Uh, I would say that it's feel different enough to not feel like Dark Souls, but stuff that you see and specifically reused animations and so on and so forth make you have a strong feel of deja vu that pull you back into Dark Souls territory.
Mm,
But altogether, it feels different enough.
okay. Yeah, I think I might get it, but not at this point because I just got Shadow Warrior 3, so
Yeah, I would say you should wait a little bit, like a month or two before From Software will finish patching the
Patching.
game up.
Mm.
Yeah, because at the start, when all people who wanted to play this game started to play it, it was performing so bad. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah,
Well,
because of the online parts of the game.
yeah, and basically it's also depend when you are on the world, specifically how close you to the server and whatnot.
Mm. I mean, the first thing that I would do personally, I did that in Dark Souls as well. I didn't even log in, so I played in offline mode.
Yeah, how working Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring as well. When you choosing play offline, first time when you're gonna launch the game, it will launch in online mode, no
Mm.
matter what.
Mm.
To put this game into full offline, you must reboot the game.
Mm. Yeah, that was in the old games the same, I think.
Yeah, in Dark Souls 3, it's exactly the same way.
Pretty much, it was the same in Death Stranding. That also starts in online mode directly because it's part of the game. So it was kind of planned to have co-op capabilities in it. The same in Dark Souls. In Dark Souls, you have either the writings on the ground that you can place for people. You
Yep.
either help them or troll them.
And first thing that I saw is a lot of messages because you get the thing to leave messages right in the start at the start of the game. A lot
Hmm.
of messages that I saw was about chest and butthole.
Hmm. Okay.
Also have Hellfinger.
Yeah, that's a problem that I have with games where you can leave messages for others. Some see the good reason behind it and actually help, and some others are just trolling with placing stupid links or stupid
No,
bullshit. So
you can't place links. You basically can't type your own messages. You
yeah.
building message from stuff that was put in the inside by developers. That's why it's not butthole, it's butthole.
Mm.
And hell have fingers because you not. It's not. I don't know. It's not companions that helping you, and not dark spirits that haunting you. It's fingers. Gold
Oh,
finger helping you and bloody finger haunting you.
okay. Yeah, I mean the game is weird. I mean, besides some weird enemies and stuff, uh,
You
it's
haven't seen even no, even 75% of stuff that I saw in this game.
I saw armor where it was like, why the fuck would you first put that in a game? It looks like shit. Somebody was running around looking like he was wearing a costume for, I don't know, like a mascot for a football team or something like that. And he was looking like a walking pier. And um, Soda Poppin, I checked his stream out because he plays the game a lot. He has a wizard hat that is like a small tent, you know. It's like that.
Yeah. That's in the game soon since Demon Souls.
It's the look. I mean, the game can look really. I mean, I don't want to say really good because it is just still outdated, like 5 years
Graphic quality,
too
yes.
late. But
Artistic quality, no.
yeah, it can look really great, and it has a consistent world. I mean, you see parts of the game and you see it's, well, for me it's Dark Souls, but well, it's own game. But then you see some armor and some stuff where you're like, who the fuck? And then you remember, oh wait, the Japanese developer.
I saw the NPC who had the I think it was black armor, but on left side of his chest, it's somewhere around here molded the head in white metal that hold down by the hand. Basically, right here molded a big lump of metal that represent head and an arm.
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I saw somebody else play, and there's a pot in the ground with
Yeah, I
arms,
know
and
that was.
you know that sequence where it basically tells you to spank it, and
Yeah.
it just hit its butt, and then it's outside like having arms and legs, and it's just being a huge pot, and you're like, am I playing Alice in Wonderland Hardcore Edition, or
Give me, give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second.
And I was watching Sweet Anita, and uh, she didn't had really too many ticks actually. She's having Tourette and streams,
Shit,
and
wrong. This one.
says community error.
I looked it for friends.
Ah. Yeah, but I'm not logged in.
Okay,
I can only open it in a browser or send it in Steam directly.
Give me a second, and
Because then I can open it in Steam. So yeah, I was watching her play the game, and she never played a Dark Souls game before. And
okay, I open it.
and she can play that game, so I'm kinda, and she's normally not playing games like that. So I'm kinda tempted to play. All right, what are we looking at?
See that piece of pottery?
Oh yeah, the guy in the background. Yeah, that's
It's even bigger pottery that you saw at that stream.
yeah. That looks really huge. I mean, in the background that's a castle, so this
Well,
looks like,
more hip, but yeah.
yeah, but that looks at least 3 times the size of the other guy.
Yep.
Is he? But he looks more like the I'm not friendly type of guy.
Yep. Definitely. I
Because the
didn't
other
meet
guy.
him personally yet, but I'm not anticipating meeting him in personal.
Yeah, no, his arms like this is like, you're not getting in here. Denied
Yeah.
today only for club members.
Yeah. And
The
there was
bouncer.
an area when I thought with smaller pots like that, they can hit hard.
Hmm.
I think that they also can poison you.
Okay. Looks like an enemy where I would expect an attack like leaning forward and then I don't know, like emptying its pot with some, I don't know, lava or some bullshit.
If only he could do it once.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there are some fun enemies in there.
Some
And
of those fun enemies traumatized me for life.
because of the hard fights or how they look.
Sometimes both.
Because seriously, some enemies, God, they're ugly as fuck.
Yeah, I know.
I saw I saw another stream, and that was an area he entered. I don't know. It was a like also like a castle or something. I don't know. It was a dungeon with some stairs down, and got attacked by two guys, and there was a deep, deep hole, and you could see there's a flower over there, and there's something else down there, and on top there was a message like, yeah, trust yourself, just jump or something like that. And he was like, huh, should I do that? Ah, well, let's do that.
That's what you should never do.
Yeah, and he jumps down and bam, you died. And he was like,
Ah,
oh wait.
yeah, that's basically the standard greetings from Souls community. If you
Yeah,
haven't played
exactly.
first three games, you basically don't know that you better not jump when somebody said you to jump.
Yeah. And the messages on the floor were basically from people who did survive but didn't get out anymore. So, because somebody wrote that in chat, he was like, "Yeah, you can survive when you do a roll or something at the right time, and but you will not get out of there again." So, somebody survived and placed the message down there. Nobody read it, but yeah, but he did get his souls on top of it, so he didn't really lose them. So.
Now it's runes. Completely
Yeah,
different
I know.
substances.
But everybody is still calling it bonfires and souls. I
Force of habit.
mean, for some reason, at the beginning, playing Dead Cells, I also said souls to those things, to the cells, a few times. And I'm
Oh.
not even a Dark Souls player.
Talking about Dark Souls was really freaking influential at the time. What was it, 2012, 2011, if I remember correctly?
No, it's not that long. It was. Oh, Dark Souls. Oh, Dark Souls,
Yeah.
yeah. Dark Souls was 11, I think. First one. Demon Souls was 2009.
2011, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. PC 2012.
That's where I have Dark Souls 1. Because I don't have it in Steam, but I did play it. I have it on my Xbox. So I played it a while ago already, before, I think even before it came to PC.
Yeah, it's basically when it comes to PC, it already was with all DLCs built in the game. Basically, Prepare to Die is GOTY edition. And speaking about GOTY, people stopped releasing GOTY.
Yeah, that's true.
Stop. Yeah.
Kinda true. There should be, after this time, already be a GOTY of Borderlands 3, but
Not
well,
only Borderlands 3, but several other games that I will not remember right now.
yeah, but oftentimes those editions came when those games actually were the games of the year.
Well, basically, people game publishers stopped releasing whole sets. If you want a game and all DLCs, you must buy a game and DLC separately. You
Yeah,
won't be able to wait it out till they release a full package. I've
yeah, it
seen
was
the second screenshot.
definitely faster than before. Before it was faster than it is now. That's what I meant. So, yeah. But there haven't been that many games with a lot of DLCs, really. That looks like a nice guy.
Yep, and they come in packs.
Yeah, obviously.
So it's basically look like a small dinosaur with small paws at front and big masculine legs behind. They all bony. Some of them have bright red eyes, some of them light, some of them dark, and they always jump at you.
Yeah, they look like a wolf T-Rex.
Yeah,
Or wolf raptor. Yeah, fun.
it's just mutated doggo.
Okay, in that case, easy peasy.
Yeah.
The problem is some enemies have so weird attacks. Soda Soda was playing against a huge guy, and he was that enemy jumped far away from him, and he looks in that direction and didn't know what happens, and that guy is hitting his huge weapon in the ground and basically like with a shovel throws shit in his direction, kills him, and he was like, what? And then he just passed that guy, and came to another of the same lying on the ground, and he looked dead or something, and he went past it, and that guy is like starting to glow in the middle and starting to get up, and nope, I'm out of here, bye.
Big stone dude.
Yeah, I think they're called Molten Core or something. They're like stone golems with glowing chests or something.
Oh yeah, I know that that enemy. They're pretty easy.
Yeah, if you know
Oh.
their attacks maybe, but he was attacking that one guy on his legs and evading his attacks with that huge shovel like weapon that he has. And then that
And
guy
I-
jumped away and he didn't know what he was doing, and he was like, huh, okay. And then he gets
Plus,
thrown
I'm
stone rocks.
not a mage. I'm a sword user. Well,
Yeah,
you can see that.
he combines that basically. He has an attack that, I mean, it does damage, but it also slows them down or something, but takes a shit ton of time to cast. It's like a glowing orb that's really huge, and then it moves really slow in the direction of the enemy.
Yeah, I know those things. If one of those hit you, oh boy, say goodbye to half of your HP. Well,
Yeah,
specifically that for me.
but if an enemy moves away, you just lost it, I guess.
Yep, you can just roll past through this attack.
Hmm.
It's 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 powerful, but not that deadly.
So yeah, I think I would play as mainly melee as well. I mean, mage makes it quite. I mean, it doesn't make it that much easier, but it's easier to be away from an enemy.
Mage easier in a way that you don't need to be right in front of the enemy,
Hmm.
and most of the enemies don't have a good magical defense.
Hmm.
In that way, yes, mage is easier, but having mage as your first build ever is a big mistake because you have no idea how game work and what magic do what and when you can get one,
Hmm.
where you can get one.
Hmm. Yeah, I
So yeah,
think a combination of magic and physical attacks might be a good starting point. Only melee is also maybe a bit difficult with a few enemies, and you need to get
it
used
is.
to magic and stuff.
Well, so yeah, we just got into talking about Elden Ring instead of those hard stuff. But yeah, okay,
But
so I'm going to differentiate. I'm going to call games either hard or hardcore. When I'm saying the games is hard, well, in a way, I'm going to mean that this game hard, but in challenging way and not in unfair way. While I'm going to say that the game is hardcore, that I'm going to mean that the game was specifically designed to kill player over and over again, make him frustrated, spend his time and overcome it no matter what. Even though if one thing would be a little bit different, it would be still hard, but not that unfair as it designed. That's how I'm going to mention stuff now on. Well, at least during this episode. So, Dark Souls, Dead Cells, Mortal Shell, Bloodborne, Sekiro. Okay, Sekiro may be questionable, but kinda Sekiro. What else I can remember? Okay, I'll go just with those games for now because I forgot to check even my library. Those games, in my opinion, are mostly hard games. Yes, enemies can kill you in several hits. Hellblade as well, let it be. Enemies can kill in few hits. You might have limited healing. You must collect a weapon, go meta, and so on and so forth. But those games never feel well. Might not feel unfair to you, specifically after you understand the mechanic, understand what developer intended for you, and understand how this or that enemy, boss, and whatnot supposed to be dealt with. And there are games like Neo. I didn't play Neo 1, but I play Neo 2, so when I'm saying Neo, I am talking about basically my experience with Neo 2. Neo 2 designed around basically player movement to be slow, methodical, and small, methodical, and heavy stamina management. Plus, you have several stances of attack, counter, parry move that I still have no idea how working. And yeah, basically, your moveset is pretty slow, even with in lower stance with quicker weaponry.
Do you have stances in Elden Ring now too, right?
No,
No? Okay, then I
no.
didn't. Then I
You
understood that
have
wrong.
a special ability of your weapon, but that's a bit different. This special ability might be magical attack, it might be volley attack, it might be poison attack, it might be fire attack, or whatnot. But
Okay.
those are just special ability that you can change with some right tools and right basically right stats, because some of those attacks consume your mana. Therefore, you can't just be a completely melee build with some powerful magical attacks as your special weapon attack, because you might make only one or two hits, and that's it. You can't hit again, and damage output of your weapon will be drastically decreased, because for magic attacks you must have a good I think wisdom.
Hmm.
So yeah, if you have a lot of strength but not enough wisdom, you will be dealing damage, but not as much as if your weapon would be just physical weapon and without this magical effect.
Mm. I have to say one thing, it looks the most like what I would expect an RPG to be. With all the
Elden Ring.
yeah. More than the others, more than the Dark Souls series.
Yeah, okay, I get what you're talking about. So again, about Neo, I I like this game. I like art style, but yeah, its graphics better than Dark Souls, but art style not as good as Dark Souls, like not even close.
Mm,
It's still
I,
looking good, but it's not the same way of artistical vision, let's say it like that.
I know what you mean. If you see a Dark Souls game, you recognize it being a Dark Souls game because of the
Yeah,
style. Like when you see something from Star Trek, like I don't know, just a walkway in a ship or so, it looks like Star Trek. Same with Star Wars. So it has its own face basically.
yeah, and Neo 2 basically made a good looking. I kind of doubt already that it's good looking medieval Japan. Okay, try to make a medieval Japan, but yeah, okay, it's looking kind of good, but not like basically how it was in screenshot of Elden Ring with big keep and big pottery in front of it.
Mm. Yeah, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't have its own original style to it. It just looks like. Hmm. When I played Neo again a
It
few
looked like
weeks,
cave, it looked like forest, it looked like ruined village with Asian aesthetic.
yeah, it could be basically any game. So there's not much making it stand out compared to other games. When I played Neo, it okay. I'm already a few hours in, so I died a lot in that sequence while playing it again, and it doesn't look. I mean, you also get some weird armor and stuff, and it, at first it looks like a modded Dark Souls. At least Neo 1, because I don't have the second one. Um, but yeah, it doesn't have its own original style.
I kind of get what you're talking about, and yes, if we're talking about gameplay that you should play, it's kind of modded Dark Souls. It's
Mm,
slow and methodical,
yeah,
but enemies designed for fast-paced gameplay.
yeah,
They designed to be dodged a lot. They designed on a lot of counters and parries moves, and most of the time they fucking faster than you in any way, shape, or form.
yeah. Blocking and stuff like that is pretty important in Neo, I think.
And blocking is actually actively punishable in Neo. When you're blocking in Neo, you're you basically get a big hit on stamina, and your stamina restore for a really long time.
Mm, yeah, that's true. And if you want to hit hard, I have an axe that does a shit ton of damage, but I can basically do two heavy attacks and then stamina is gone.
Yeah, also have a big freaking axe, but I already made my character to make 5 hits with that axe, and then my stamina is gone.
Yeah, okay, that's better. Yeah, I have a huge axe, so you play a game that's basically around samurai and stuff like that, and I'm running around with half of a medieval like Spanish armor. You know, they had those strange pants and stuff, but
Mhm.
with a head that looks like it could be from Bloodborne, and carrying like a bronze axe with two sharp sides. You know, a double axe, and it's when I played that sequence, I was like.
My character look like a homeless stripper with 2 axes. No, with 1 big axe and 2 small axes.
So yeah, it's also kind of weird design. Sekiro is a bit. I mean, it also is in that area or that era with samurai and stuff. But when you see screenshots of Sekiro, you see it's Sekiro.
Oh
It's
yes, Sekiro have much better art direction.
yeah,
As I said, give
it's
me a sec. I
it's
need
more
to.
original and consistent, I think. And yeah, Neo looks kinda even more outdated than Dark Souls.
I have 15 hours in Neo. I haven't seen even one imagery that burned in my mind, and I died a lot in some of the areas.
Yeah,
I
same for
haven't
same for me.
even one area that burned out in my mind, like area in Sekiro, in Dark Souls, well, in Sekiro or any of Dark Souls.
Yeah, I only have 2 hours in Neo, so I didn't play that far, but yeah. When I started it again and just hit continue, I was like, oh yeah, right. That was the fight where I stopped. But that
Yeah,
was
well,
basically it.
welcome to the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Basically, I'm in a room, and if I want to exit that room to the outside, there's a staircase and there are two knights basically. So you have to get past two heavily armored guys with huge swords. And uh doesn't work out too well for me. But I can kill one, but then I'm already halfway down with my health or something.
Well, as people are saying, get good.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But
And
yeah,
I
I know what you're talking about. For me, Neo is specifically hardcore game because if your character played like Kratos from God of War or Dante from Devil May Cry, it would be not easy but much easier. It
yeah,
would be
that's
just
true.
a hard game.
Hmm. But yeah, it also feels like um Gothic trying to be an action game.
Oh,
That's
yeah, I
that's
know
how
what you're
I
talking about.
because I mean the fighting Gothic is not a game that you play for the fighting, and it is clunky, the movement and all kind of stuff. So it that's what I thought the first time when I saw and played Dark Souls. I was like, kinda looks like it could be Gothic, but it yeah. So that makes me more interested in Elden Ring than in Dark Souls for some reason.
Oh
So yeah.
yeah, again, if
And
we're talking about specifically Dark Souls series, then we start with pathetic 1 million of Demon Souls and straight up with Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2, and Dark Souls 3.
hmm,
Basically, fan base who wanted to have those those hard games, those games that are challenging and not give us your money and unlock a better gun right away. Those games that make you feel like you overcome some sort of strong enemy. That's what bring Dark Souls from niche title into numbers of Dark Souls 3, when people who never played Dark Souls was interesting in playing Dark Souls 3. And if we're talking about all Dark Souls, all those games have completely standalone stories. If you try, you can make connections from the first game to the second to the third. But you don't need to play previous games to understand what's happening in Dark Souls 3. What's happening in Dark Souls 3 is happening in Dark Souls 3. And basically, like Fallout, already stuff already happened. You see, you basically in the process when everything will become Fallout.
Yeah, I thought that they would actually relate more to each other.
They kinda relate, and by kinda I mean if you first kindle the flame, that then Dark Souls 2 going right after Dark Souls 1. If you try to kindle the flame in Dark Souls 2, or don't kindle the flame in Dark Souls 2, then it goes to Dark Souls 3. And if you don't kindle the flame in Dark Souls 1, it comes directly to Dark Souls 3.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kinda non-linear story.
I have some games in here. Why are they even in that category? They're not Souls-like. Yeah, I have to play Bright Memory. Still need to play that game.
Yeah, I played this game. It's not bad, but let's just say that I expected to see a lot more Chinese aesthetic in this game, including not generic action game music.
Yeah, yeah.
And it have some good tracks that sound kinda generic, but they also have specifically some Chinese tuning in it. And you hear it and like, good.
Yeah, but still need to play that. Yeah, Hellpoint is another game that is... It's a bit like Mortal Shell more than Dark Souls, I think.
I wouldn't call it a Mortal Shell. Like,
I
I
played it
played
at the
this
same
game
time.
something about 4 hours. Mm, it
Yeah,
definitely into a hard category, but it it hard, but it's more easier than Mortal Shell even. At least
yeah.
for me.
As far as I can remember, you have normally more than one enemy around you. There was one area
Yeah,
where I stopped
definitely.
it. Yeah, there were like 6, 7, or 8 enemies or so. And some using ranged attacks, so while you're fighting melee guys, you have to see, oh shit, where's the shot coming from, and stuff like that. I only played it for an hour and a half.
Hellpoint have one difference between Mortal Shell and the original Dark Souls. You can run and jump in this game. So basically, when somebody's shooting you, you can run and jump somebody and look down on this thing and be like, how should I deal with this? You
Yeah.
basically can outrun or just say outrange enemy by jumping on some ledge and be like, yep, you can't catch me.
Mm. Yeah, that's something that I tried a few times in Shadow Warrior 3. Nah, where you can climb, they can climb. So it doesn't matter. Huge guy, 3 meters high or something like that. Nah, I'm climbing up here. And while I'm at it, I'm clipping through the level architecture and just be stuck on the ledge here. Want to kill me from top or from the bottom? Yeah. So
Yeah, I saw partially that.
that's a game that could fit in the hardcore category with the boss fights at least. God, I hated
Hellpoint.
that last boss fight.
I don't even remember the first boss fight, to be honest.
The
I
fir- the
know that
first
I know
the
that I
first is with
had
the
a boss
chicken.
fight, but I don't even remember it.
In what, in Shadow Warrior?
No, in you about Shadow Warriors.
Yeah, yeah, no, I was talking about Shadow Warrior. Because the
I
boss
was thinking about
fights,
Hellpoint still.
yeah, I didn't get to a boss in Hellpoint, so I couldn't tell. No idea.
Yeah, okay, Shadow Warrior.
Yeah, where's that? Oh, yeah, there's one game definitely miss. Oh, no, I have that here. Remnant from the Ashes. Oh God.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a hard game, and
Yeah.
at times this game is, to be fair, it's unfair.
Yeah, that first boss fight that Baron and I tried.
Second try solo.
Yeah, seriously, we tried that guy, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, and there's always a situation where some bullshit happens with that guy. He's jumping through that window or whatnot, and
Yeah,
you,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
oh, you're
His
just running away,
self-denial
and
poison and stuff like that. Oh.
yeah. And then he gets friends because he's not enough already, so he calls some friends, and you're like, God damn it, where's that shit coming from? So yeah, I was kind of looking forward to that, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna touch that again.
I'm somewhere around in third. Yeah, I'm somewhere around in third area.
Hmm.
So if we're talking about difficulty of Remnant, it's not that bad, but it has its moments when it feel like it's unfair. And don't get me wrong, when I was talking about Neo and making sound like I don't like hardcore games, it's definitely not like that. You know that roguelike game that was released recently when you basically get in a curse to get, the longer you play you get more curses and so on and so forth.
Risk of Rain was just updated with the DLC, but I don't know what other game.
No, I mean, can you return to your library? I think I saw that game.
Dead
Remember?
of Gods? Curse of the Dead Gods?
Yes.
That's oh, I need to replay that
So
again.
yeah,
Didn't play it for a while.
Curse of the Dead Gods have a hardcore mechanic that basically making it harder for you to continue. But yeah, it's basically just an additional challenge, and if you are not dying, not dying, not dying, managing your curves and whatnot, it not as bad. This game is encouraging you to be better. This game is encouraging you to spend more time with it, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, definitely need to play that again. It got a Dead
Also,
Cells update? What? Okay, no, I
also,
definitely need to play it.
also, roguelike, no, not roguelite, roguelike. Roguelike specifically is a hardcore genre.
Yeah.
And I can say that roguelike, in general, I mean, most popular roguelikes are bad games. They're hardcore and fair, yes. but they aren't bad.
Ah, that weapon is from Curse of the Dead Gods. The machete and pistol. That's
Ah,
a
okay.
that's a nice weapon combo actually. Yeah,
And
you slash a few times with the machete and then you do critical with the pistol.
speaking of Dead Cells, I mentioned it and it had DLC released recently, but we didn't talk about it at all just now.
Yeah, the DLC is nice and hardcore. Eh,
I don't, I don't know about. Oh yeah, maybe that enemy, that octopus-looking dude.
mm,
Maybe him.
nah, my problem is actually the second area of the new DLC where you have to run away from the enemies and you
Oh,
basically have 3 boss fights in that level.
okay, that's definitely hardcore.
Yeah,
Y-
you get chased by first you get chased by an enemy that wants to hit you with daggers or something, and all while some weird fire is coming up that totally not you started, and there's a new item in the level as well, which is breakable wooden logs or something.
mhm.
So you can also grab onto something where a weight goes down, you go up. So that's a way to be a bit fast. And then you have um, after the first third of the level, you have a fight against that enemy that is hunting you the whole time. Basically, like a boss fight, like the concierge or something like that. After that fight, a second character comes in, sniping you with a bow from far away. So you're trying to get away from those two until you end up in another fight against those two. And you don't kill the enemies, you just basically knock them out and continue to walk, and then they follow you again. Just to get into a third fight with a third guy that is following you. So you're chased by 3 people that you have to fight in a closed area at the end then. And
And
after
after that is
that,
fight with the queen. Yep.
then you see the fight with the queen, and I only got to the queen, I think, once or twice.
Ah,
The problem is, it's so far, it's basically completely the end. So, um, it's not like you can replay that over and over and just get used to it. No, you have to do a full run, which is, depending how you play, half an hour or an hour. And then you get to the end and you're like, ha, okay, I'm here the first time. What's happening here? Ah! And I know people who did it on the first try, but the first time I got there, I think I had 1 or 2 boss cells because sure, why wouldn't I go there with hardcore difficulty? Could have just done a regular run on easy basically or normal, but no, I went there with boss cells. So yeah, but the new area with those yeah, the leg hugger kind of guys that you also can unlock. The more annoying enemy in there is a smaller pirate that is throwing an anchor, which is first hitting you really hard
oh
and
yeah, I
also
get it.
destroying parts of the level. So yeah, that enemy is more annoying than the other one. The other one is a bit easier to get away, but that guy, you're standing a few meters away and he's like, here, have my anchor. You're like, no! I want to have that weapon. That is one of the new weapons that you can unlock.
Yeah, basically, fuck you with the fucking anchor.
Yeah, exactly. Here, in your face, bitch. Catch it. Or dodge if you can. Oh, you couldn't. Oh, I'm sorry.
And again, it's not like those games ain't popular, and they uh, and for some reasons, for guys like EA, Ubisoft, or Activisions, those games are just cultural phenomena and not like, hey, we want a fucking challenge. We don't want to have a bullet sponge that need to take 50 magazines of any assault rifle to even scratch his armor. We
Hmm.
don't need that. We need challenging fights.
The funny thing is, if you think about it, the games that I played when I was a child, they were really hardcore games actually. Like
Tell me
Castle,
about it. I liked Ninja Gaiden 2.
yeah, Castlevania series, Ghosts and Ghouls, and all those kind of games which were really hardcore. Um, or
Specifically because of absence stuff like save feature.
yeah, a lot of things. I mean, back in the day, you had no regenerative health, for example, and all that stuff. And a lot of games, yeah, were pretty much roguelikes because, yeah, like you said, there was no save. So some games you had to finish in one go, basically. Like Rick Dangerous, one of the most punishing platforming games I played in the past. Rick Dangerous had 5 levels, but if you wanted to play the last level, you had to finish the first 4 in a row. So you're basically sitting there for a few hours doing that, which was already hardcore. And guess what? I broke the game. So after I broke the game digitally, a friend of mine broke the disc afterwards because we went into the 5th level. And right at the beginning, you have to drop down somewhere, and we clipped into the level. So we were stuck in the level. You could only move left, right, left, right. There was nothing you could do. So there was no reset the level or restart the level bullshit or so. No, it was just like he took out the disc, didn't even close the game. While the game was running, he took out the disc and threw it out of his freaking room, hitting a light switch in the end, where you could basically see where the Amiga disc cut into the light switch. The frame of the light switch had a rectangular hole in it, basically, where you could take the disc and just stuck it in there, and it would have stayed in there. And then he took it. He broke the disc. We never played that game again. Took us 5 hours
Yeah,
or so to
games
get
in the
there.
past was all
Yeah,
different beasts.
yeah.
Even if you look at it right now, Doom on Nightmare difficulty in the past, enemies are bullet sponges and they will resurrect. If you play Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal on Nightmare, yeah, it's definitely a lot more easier than back then. And I
Yeah,
never
that's
played in Doom and Nightmare outside Sourceport.
yeah, that's the thing. A lot of games have been really hardcore back then. I mean, just look at the very first Tomb Raider and the first Tomb Raider reboot. I mean, completely different story. It's much easier than the original. The original was
Yeah,
hardcore.
it's definitely. Specifically, times when you first time encounter a bear, and then in the second area, hi, I'm a T-Rex. Nice to meet you.
Nice to eat ya.
Yeah,
Yeah, that T-Rex. Holy shit, the first time I saw that T-Rex, that was pretty
I
impressive.
was laughing so hard when in second game in Lara's mansion you could find this T-Rex head right up your
I, I don't rem-
fireplace.
I don't remember that actually.
It was in the second game, I think in third one as well.
Hmm. Okay. I still
That
need
was
to
so
finish.
satisfying.
Still need to finish the anniversary edition of the first one.
Yeah,
Tomb
same
Raider,
thing.
the original Tomb Raider is the only game that I played basically on 3 different systems. I played it on the original PlayStation, I played it on PC, the DOS version, and then I played the 3DFX updated edition, and that looked freaking awesome. Loved it
It
back
always
then.
it's always pyramids.
Yeah, it's. I actually started replaying that game a few years ago, the original.
Oh,
But yeah. So yeah, but Curse of the Dead Gods. Yeah, I definitely need to play that again. It's been a while.
so again, what we have now as hard games. You put into multiplayer against people that have 2 or 3 times more of your time and level. You put against damage spongers that hit hard, hit accurately, and have, I don't know, either don't have continuous or have checkpoints somewhere, who knows where, or have limited respawns. Why?
Yeah, that's something that I asked myself when I played Shadow Warrior 3, for example. If you played like I played it, it can be not just hard, but it can be hardcore because seriously, you have some some fights where I played it katana only, basically just flying enemies. I used guns and rifles and stuff. So I mostly played it with the katana. That makes the fights much harder already. But then you're through the first phase with your 20 or 25 bullet sponge enemies to have another phase with new enemies. And yeah, you die, you start all over again from the beginning. There's not like, if you have 3 waves, it's not like after the first or the second even, you have another checkpoint. No, you do it all over again. And some enemies are so precise, which is annoying,
Yeah,
but I
some
played it extra hard.
encounters can be tiring,
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
specifically when you die to something like I stuck in the, well, let's put it
Yeah.
like this. That's a nice level you have, specifically those spikes. Why am I stuck in them?
Yeah, there were 2 situations or so where I was blocked by something in the level and I couldn't get anywhere anymore. So I was like, where am I? What's happening here? Or even worse than that, if an enemy is somewhere and you know there is an enemy, but where the fuck did he spawn? Or where the fuck did he clip through? And you need to kill that enemy, otherwise it's not continuing. Like that one guy that was floating in the air and trying to shoot me.
Why have Crash and Souls like?
Hmm? Why I
Why
have what?
have Crash and Souls like? Between Bright Memory and Curse of the Dead Gods.
I have no idea. There, like I said, there are some. Oh, that's a dynamic collection. Yeah, there's your answer. That's some moron placed
Well,
the
Crash
tag.
is a hard platformer, but if you compare Crash to games that came out at the same time, it's not even close to be
No,
hard or hardcore.
no, not really.
It just on the same hard difficulty as everything that came around it.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
not
but
like it was designed to be hardcore. Maybe for modern players, but it's not.
yeah, but this is basically It's basically a dynamic collection, so not all the games in there are even remotely a Souls-like. So
Speaking of Souls, like, do you remember how after Dark Souls was released, it became instant cult classic, specifically prepared to die edition? And from that point, even to this day, some moron will call games. Is it a Dark Souls of X genre? Is this a Dark Souls? Oh no, is this a new Dark Souls? Is this Dark Souls of everything?
yeah, it's
I'm
that's
gonna tell you something that might shock you. Neither Bloodborne nor Sekiro are Dark Souls of Souls-like genres.
yeah. The thing is,
Sekiro not even Souls-like.
the thing is, there were games that were hard before, but well, I guess it kind of defines the genre on its own. So
Yeah.
everything that From Software, no, actually not everything, because no wait, that was from different developer. Nah, pretty much everything that From Software creates is a Souls-like. So
No,
they made
well,
that
if you think
genre.
like this, uh, basically Kingsfield is predecessor of Souls-like, and it's awfully similar to Souls-like, specifically by accounts of people who played this game.
Yeah, yeah, they already had a few mechanics and stuff in that game. That's true, but not really a lot of people know about that game.
Well, it's Japan only.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
most of the games.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think they remade that a long time ago for the Western area. I think you could get it here, but was it PlayStation 2 or something? I don't remember. But I know about it because I sometimes buy a magazine about retro games and retro gaming, and they actually had an article in there about From Software, where they come from, and the creator of Souls, why he is making those games, and it was a pretty nice article. But German, so. But yeah, well, it's a bit like when a game has crafting and digging in the ground, it's a Minecraft
Yeah, and
game, you
if
know.
a game a little bit more hard than stuff that produced by again Ubisoft, EA, or Activision, if game a little bit more harder than that, it's already rendered as Dark Souls of this genre.
Yeah, Souls like. Just like roguelite or roguelike, you have Souls like now. In some cases, yeah, it makes sense. In some other cases, well, it doesn't.
Yeah,
For me personally, a Souls like needs huge boss fights. When
it
you
should be
don't,
hard. It should have huge boss fights. It should have boss bonfire. It should have Estus, and it should have you lose all of your progress points on death with the ability to retrieve it.
yeah, pretty much, yeah, that's
And
that that
it
that's
doesn't
that's
matter
pretty
if
much it.
it's 2D or 3D.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But if you only have small enemies and no boss fights or something, and as soon as the game feels fair and you feel like you're in control, it's not a Souls-like.
Well, even in Dark Souls 1, you can feel in control. Specifically,
Yeah, true, but you always have.
specifically when you learn how to parry, because every humanoid boss becoming a freaking joke because you can parry most of their attacks and just counter them to death.
Yeah, I mean that's also part of Sekiro's main gameplay, basically, to parry and block at the right time to get the overhand against the boss or something.
Yeah, yeah, okay, true.
Yeah. And that's
So,
that's
yeah.
one. Actually,
You can feel in control in Souls, like you just need to be really good to feel in control.
yeah, but normally you do have. I mean, maybe not every boss that you fight, but a lot of bosses will kill you the first time because they will do an attack that you have no idea about.
Not predict.
Yeah, so that's where the trolley or unfair part comes in, because you think you're in control, you get through phase number 1 or something like that, and then the game is just like, nope, fuck you.
And speaking about Dark Souls 3 and in Elden Ring in particular, because I can remember encounters in Dark Souls 2, in Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. Bosses can change moveset between phases, before changing the phase. So in Elden Ring, I was fighting the big why you why you even bothering me knight. He had two phases, but every time he when he hit middle of the phase, he changed his moveset. In the middle of first phase, he expanded his moveset to include two or three more attacks that I could not even predict that they exist. And in the middle of second phase, he was like, "Hey, you know that attack that you can dodge right now, not perfectly, but just by the slightest. Well, meet the modified version of it when I attack once and right of the second time, and the reach is much higher." What, you could not predict or dodge that? Well, too bad.
Yeah. Is that a guy? Is that a guy on that bridge kind of thingy? I mean, it's not really a
I need
bridge.
to specify. I passed at least 4 or 5 bridges at this point.
Yeah, yeah. It's I see bits every now and then from others play the game.
Big pumpkin-like head or not?
Yeah, I saw that guy yesterday actually.
So okay, about what did you were talking then?
No. I meant another one that was not really a bridge like that bridge, but like some rocks forming a natural bridge where you get in front of a castle or something. That's where another one of those night enemies were. I'm not sure if you were talking about that guy.
No, I'm
It's in
not talking
front of a
about that
building
guy.
that you want to enter. But
Ah,
I don't know if
I
that was
kind
the
of
night.
get what you're talking about. I think you are talking about a regular enemy. I particularly was
Sure.
describing the guy from. mm, There are optional areas that you can get. It's
Hmm.
just one big circle, and you basically can summon a warrior to fight, or
Ah, okay.
anti-warrior. So yeah, okay. You're doing it not for achievement, but for miracle that I can't use. I suddenly learned how to parry this motherfucker because it was either that or die over and over and over and over and over again. And I
That
still
sounds
can't parry regular enemy.
that sounds a lot like something that I saw. A guy was fighting. Um, I think that's relatively soon at the beginning where you encounter an enemy that you cannot kill because he's just way too heavy for
On the
you.
horse,
I'm not sure, was it the horse guy? But it's relatively early on, and it just where the game tells you, no, you cannot do that. And the guy,
yeah, that guy on the horse. I killed them right now, but not when I first meet him. When I first meet him and was looking at him, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, we're looking at each other, and I was like, nah, I'll piss off.
He was like, nah, you don't want to do this now. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that guy did it, and he played. It took him I don't remember, maybe 2 or 3 hours or so to actually learn how to kill that guy, and he killed the guy. And I mean, obviously, it's a really high level enemy. He will not drop something that you can actually use right away because you're way too low.
Yeah.
So yeah, he dropped a weapon that first he couldn't use because, well, he wasn't I don't know, strong enough or something. And
This
then he
weapon
was
actually have 3 attributes. It has attribute in strange, it has attribute in uh, dexterity, I think. I don't remember
yeah,
how it's
some
called.
like that. But
And it has attribute in faith. I have first two. I don't have faith. I can't use this weapon.
yeah, that was basically the same for him because he was going in a completely different direction class wise. So he was like, yeah, okay, yeah, fuck, I cannot use that. So,
Yeah, the same was for me. I was already decided that I'm going to be a melee build because at this point, I didn't find any miracles or the person who could teach me miracles. I didn't find the mage or the person who could teach me magic. And I found a big source, so I decided melee build it is.
okay. Yeah, so but I think he's much better in boss fights now after after killing that guy.
Yeah, again, after I was in that area with those cute doggos, and I turned back into the area that kinda intended like a second area. I basically rolling through it like a bulldozer.
Mm.
The only problem that I have bad magic defense, and magic users always range users.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, sounds like it makes sense.
Mhm.
So
Especially when I'm trying to get through this guy, and there are 2 or 3 marionette soldiers dropping from the ceiling. Oh, those marionettes! 4 hands, either 4 daggers or 2 bows or 2 spears, and they always will have an attack when they swing wildly or shoot from the bows like it's a freaking machine gun.
fuck. Yeah, that sounds like completely fair fun.
Yep. Again, I just scarred for life with this deserted area. So yeah, it's still like a bit of, oh no, come back.
Yeah, I will definitely get it one day. It's so tempting. It sounds kind of
Wait a
fun.
bit. Wait till they fix it.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
as broken as Cyberpunk.
that's true. I mean,
Nothing
that's
was as broken as Cyberpunk at the
exactly.
point of release.
Yeah, I
But
don't remember
yeah,
one
it
game.
it has some performance issues.
Yeah, I read that but there also have been quite some patches already fixing
Yeah,
stuff. But
the last patch was yesterday, and before I at first patch I met one encounter that uh, it basically rogue build with the dagger that inflict bleeding on you, and this dagger has a range attack, and this range attack dealing a lot of damage and can inflict blade damage on you as well.
Yay!
Yes, and I a mid warrior build with big, not so fast sword.
Hmm.
Encounter built in that way that after you invaded by this NPC, you should get help from a different NPC who will help you to fight this red NPC. I have a actual feeling that this encounter is bugged because when this NPC invading you, you not should just survive for quite some time. You should hit him for 300 or 400 points of damage. Only after that, somewhere way back behind you will spawn a friendly NPC who will slowly get to you to help you fight this rogue.
Okay.
And I learned that this friendly NPC must spawn into this world after I was killed. After
Yeah.
you are killed, game triggering spawn friendly NPC.
It's like telling you, couldn't you have survived a little bit longer because help is on the way, by the way. I
Yeah,
mean,
that was my first thought. When
it's
I
coming.
died at the second time and I was dodging him for like 2 or 3 minutes and I saw that nobody coming to my aid. I made 2 or 3 hits to that enemy. I saw how friendly NPC spawning and I died. When he was way back and behind me.
Hey, by the way, the fight is over here. I'm coming.
Yeah.
La, 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 la.
So yeah, in my opinion, this encounter is bugged, and
Hmm.
it's supposed to trigger either by the timer or whatnot, because triggering spawn NPC after you're basically dead. Thank you,
Something's
game,
not.
but it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, something's not right there. Yeah, might be some bug or glitch related to the open world, which is kinda new to the game.
Or online because it has a lot of online issues.
Hmm.
Well, at least had a lot of online issues.
Yeah, maybe.
And
Hmm.
it's not like it completely unstable. And servers didn't perform as well with bigger crowd.
Hmm.
So yeah, when you have all those phantoms running around, when you have all those summoning signs all around, when you have all those messages flying around, well, basically everything that was present in previous games, but also you have an open world.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because you don't just see your phantom or something, you see
And
one everywhere basically. You see a fight
yeah,
somewhere, you see one of those phantoms walk around and
and you
stuff.
basically can see phantoms not only in your area, like in every Dark Souls game.
Hmm.
In every Dark Souls game, you can see phantoms only in your area, because this world don't have loading screens. The game always loading not only phantoms from your area, also blood spots and messages and whatnot. It also loading these things from stuff that you see, well, basically in front of you, but this in front of you might be a next area.
Hmm. What are the blood spots doing?
You can see how somebody died with it.
Okay. So that's like a review of the death drop or
Yeah,
whatever happened.
basically, if you see stuff like chest up ahead, try to jump, and you see a blood spot next to it.
Oh,
Well, you can touch blood spot and see how this person died. But
hmm,
if you see the message and the blood spot next to it,
hmm,
this person definitely died because he dropped down.
okay, I see. Because I saw
Well,
that a few times and nobody ever read anything or touched them or so.
and basically, blood spots are interesting because you can predict unpredictable.
Mm,
When you see blood spots right in front of the room, and you see big enemy right on the other end of the room, you won't touch the spot
mm,
because by touching the spot, you might see how person walked to fight the big enemy at the other end of the room, but you might see how he was hit from behind.
mm. Yeah, or by a trap or something.
No, by a small enemy that was hidden by developers.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
If it's
yeah, you basically can, as I said, you can predict unpredictable.
so,
Hey, you
so
see
if you,
big fuck you enemy.
yeah, so
There's a black spot.
if you see a blood spot where you shouldn't expect it to be, because it's down somewhere on a mountain or on a slope or something that somebody dropped down or so, you might want to touch it.
Yeah, well, it basically comes with the knowledge if you see blood spots and the at the cliff and not that saying try to jump, you don't need touch all of those blood spots. You
Yeah,
already know why they died.
yeah. Yeah, there were no blood spots in that area where I told you earlier, where it said, yeah, here, just take a leap of faith or something like that.
Yeah. Again, if you won't die in this area, there will be no blood spots. So
Mm,
yeah, if you and died there and you can't die at this area, so there will be no blood spots to
mm,
inform you.
mm. Makes sense.
Also, if you're playing offline in Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring, you won't see any blood spots.
Yeah, only your own, I guess.
No, basically, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, the problem I have with online in games like that is that somebody can enter your game and troll you. I mean, you can also get help from people, but I also know that there are some that are just out for killing others just for fun.
Yeah, that's basically a main point of online in Dark Souls. You killing other players for their resources.
Hmm.
In Dark Souls 1, in Dark Souls, basically in Souls.
Hmm.
In Souls, you can just stay hollow. And when you are hollow, you won't be invaded. You won't be even invaded even by NPCs.
Hmm.
If you I don't think that that's work in Dark Souls 3. I don't actually remember correctly. I mostly play it offline. In Elden Ring, you always under threat of the invasion because
Yeah,
you
and
don't have you don't have state like hollow, unhollow, or embered or not.
hmm. Yeah, that's one thing that I wouldn't need on top of a game that's already punishing.
Yeah, And again, it also heavily depends on where are you in the world.
Hmm.
In Dark Souls 1, I had one instance when I was invaded by a red spirit. Red I was locked on it. I was backing out from it because I didn't want to fight this spirit on the stairs. And then I died from a backstab. Then game teleported enemy behind my back, right in the middle of animation of backstab. And I realized that because of like compensation, he got behind my back.
So, yay.
Yep.
Fuck. Yeah, so
In
that's
Dark Souls 2, in one area, I was invaded 4 times by by the same dude.
mm-hmm.
When he invaded me the 5th time, I was like, "Come on, we're meeting. I'm grinding here. I'm grinding here. You 4 times before that. You died 4 times before that. How how much embarrassing how much embarrassment you can bring to yourself now?"
Oh,
He rolled off the bridge.
so you killed that guy 4 times and he came back a fifth time.
Yeah, and it's not
Okay.
like he wanted to meet me 5 times. He was just in the same ish level than that me, and it looked like it looks like I was one of the few players who was in that area.
Hmm.
So yeah, he basically was unlucky enough to get to me 5 times in, I don't know. For me, it was 5 times in a row. How it was for him, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Just imagine you matched 5 times with the dude who, well, not that good, but you can't kill him.
Hmm.
And you drop to him over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, kinda sucks. Yeah, so he might
Personally,
have.
I would be like, when I would second time connect to the same player, I would be like, okay, I'll wait a couple of hours, maybe I'll get lucky, or I will change the area.
Yeah.
No, over and over and over again.
Yeah, at one point you should realize, okay, something's not working out here right now.
Yeah.
Either leave or, yeah, even try to get a new IP on your router or so. Maybe that changes where you get dropped in or so. But yeah, maybe you were the only person playing at the time in that area, so
Yeah.
game was like, well, have fun 4 times. Here's a fifth time. And guess what? You can try a sixth time. Stuff will not change. No!
No, there were no sixth invasion. At the time I was already entered. After the 5th time, I rushed to the boss.
Hmm.
I was getting sick and tired of seeing this guy over and over again.
I can't kill you a sixth time. Come on, let it be. You have no chance. Come on, let me drop my armor and everything and take a freaking dagger or a spoon or something, and maybe that teaches you a lesson.
He was already naked.
Yeah, yay. Oh, funny.
Yeah, again. In Dark Souls 3, I actually tried online, but in a way that I summoned the Red Spirit to fight with me.
Hmm.
But then I lost my Ember because of that, and I was like, fuck. I'm never touching Red Sign ever again.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get help or play played co-op or something with a friend, that's one thing, but yeah, publics, you never know what you get, and you might just get a troll who's like, ha ha ha, yeah,
Or
I'm
you
gonna.
can be like me in Red Dead Redemption and get dropped by some asshole with sniper rifle
Yeah.
who tried to kill your horse.
Oh, yeah. Was he like, oh, I'm so sorry, I just wanted to kill your horse, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was so sorry that he killed me every time when I respawned.
Ah, yay.
And when I had an audacity to kill him, he always came back.
Hmm.
He also turned in friendly mode, like, yeah, peace, I don't want to fight this guy anymore. But I saw how his icon was approaching me, so I was like, you think I'm stupid or something? You think I'm not seeing you approaching me?
Mm-hmm. Then
So
turning off
yeah,
friendly mode.
there is no friendly mode. You can just respawn with the word,
Ah,
yeah, okay, I'm not going to be hostile, and you will respawn as blue icon and not red.
okay.
So yeah, basically I was harassed by a player with better equipment than me, and he had no problem killing me at long range because he had a scope rifle.
Yeah, that's
And
that's
this
like,
is hard or hardcore. It just players can be assholes.
yeah, that's why I don't play GTA Online.
You should not even try. GTA
Nah.
Online is dead. It's infested with cheaters, hackers, and whatnot.
Yeah, if you don't play that on a roleplay server or something, which I'm totally not into, or not really that much. Nah, I played it. I played it when it came out, but
Right
nah.
now, it's much, much, much worse than
Yeah, I
when
know,
it was back then.
I know. Nah, it's just stupid. You get somewhere and some guy is shooting you with a rocket launcher or something. You don't even see that guy, or with a sniper rifle, and you're like, I just wanted to go in that shop and buy something. Thank you.
I Let me tell you my experience with GTA Online, and I know that we're already going into out of the topic, but yeah, okay. I already mentioned my experience with Red Dead, so let me tell you about GTA. So, game was like, you must do this mission. I don't want to do this mission. I will not let you do anything until you will go into this group fight. I don't want to do it.
Hmm.
Okay. I connected to the mission, and it was already not that in my favor. I had two teammates while basically it was 3v4.
Hmm.
I put down my controller. I took mouse and keyboard to be more precise with my shooting, and then I heard explosions. Something isn't right here. Then some scenic guy just uh, into my group and killed us with explosive rounds with assault rifle.
Mm-hmm.
First, he killed everybody in his team. Then he killed us.
The fuck?
This guy connected to the game just to ruin it for everyone, for people who he playing with, and for us.
Hmm.
And this is must-do mission for new players.
Yeah, that's just bullshit. I hate people like that. Those are like wall hackers or
Right after that, I was like, okay, I'm leaving this queue and I need to report this guy. I did it in exactly the order that I told you. I left the queue and was looking. How can I report this dude? I don't see him at the server that I was connected to. And there is no log of previous games with people that I played with.
Hmm.
It's basically impossible in GTA Online to report somebody.
Yeah, you do have to report them in that match or something.
Yeah, it's look like, but then guess what happened? I saw some biker on some clown bike with chainsaw. Well, this dude looked like NPC.
Hmm.
He killed me with those chainsaw. I was like, okay, something wrong with that. Same dude, and again, I'm died.
Hmm.
Something still isn't right. I get on the car. This NPC drive around the car, then drove into the wall, drop from the bike, and tank spawned in the middle of nowhere and started driving into somewhere. I was like, what? And then a bunch of tanks spawned on top of me and I died under this map.
What the fuck?
Then I respawned and I saw the tank that was driving down the street.
Yeah, sounds like totally legit fun.
Yeah, and you know, basically at this point, I already was sure that this person who driving this tank and who controlled NPC before is a player.
Hmm.
But my deaths in kill feed was all accidental deaths.
Mm-hmm.
It it was always like I'm committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see player's name in a kill feed. And even if player was invincible, his name was invincible as well.
Mm.
And when I opened the list of players, I couldn't see anybody with empty name. I
That's
couldn't report this guy even if I wanted.
that's some sophisticated hacking there.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that GTA Online is dead.
Hmm.
Rockstar ain't monitoring it, and even if it is monitoring,
They don't give a fuck.
yes, first they don't give a fuck. Second, how should I report somebody who's invisible and who have no name?
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Yeah.
And you know, I was like, in Team Fortress and Counter Strike, I can go into my game data, basically, well, Steam data, and see log of all peoples that I played with.
Hmm.
And they basically I could see everybody's Steam profile in there. Maybe GTA has something like that. Maybe I will find something unusual in list of players in the log.
Yeah,
So I logged
maybe
in into social club
Hmm.
and no log.
No? Ah, come on. That would have been my guess that you can at least use that super social club feature that they have.
Social club is fucking useless. It's so useless. It's as useless as Bish has the launcher.
Hmm. Yeah, that's another thing.
And
Uh,
Social Club had several years to be developed.
yeah, I hated it at the beginning when it came out. It just didn't work for me too well.
It still don't working.
Yay! And they have their own launcher, and Bethesda's launcher is discontinued and will shut down in April or so. So
Yay.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, everybody gets their wallet and games on Steam. So
Hope they will get everything transferred to Steam. It's Bethesda we're talking about.
Yeah, but it's basically Microsoft now, so that's the reason, I guess.
It's still Bethesda at the core.
Yeah,
Microsoft might be up about, but it's still Bethesda at the core. So before everybody would be changed in upper management, it still would be Bethesda.
yeah, kinda true. Kinda true, I guess. Let's see what the future will bring regarding to that.
Mm.
We will see. We will see. So yeah, I don't know why a lot of games are in here. Half of them are not even Souls-like. I wouldn't call God of War Souls-like. It's a hack and
It's
slash,
definitely
but
not Souls-like.
it's not.
Yeah, it's hack and slash.
So yeah, I don't know what some people think a rogue Souls-like is. I mean, most of the games in here would fit maybe in roguelite, like the Curse of the Dead Gods. It's not a Souls-like. I would call
It's
that a,
definitely a roguelite.
yeah, that's the thing. And what text does that have?
Monster Hunter? Here?
Yeah. Well, you do have big boss fights which take a long time, so it's
Those big
definitely.
boss fights, specifically stuff that you playing this game.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, true, but yeah. Ah. Why sugar something something? Ah, I love the Autobot. Automatic anti-bot protection. Yay! So yeah.
Uh, so yeah, again, it's coming into people calling everything Souls-like. Like this game slightly harder than I expected to be. Souls-like.
Yeah, yeah, that's just bullshit. I mean, here in that list there are a lot of harder games, but seriously, only half of them would count as a Souls-like. I mean,
Again, Cuphead also really hard game, but it's nowhere near to be called Souls-like. It's not
yeah,
even an RPG.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, for me personally, a 2D platformer will never be a Souls-like. But
Well, Hollow Knight definitely Souls-like.
yeah,
Uh, and it's 2D game.
yeah, I don't know. Is that I didn't play it enough. I only played it less than an hour. But
No, it's definitely Souls-like. I played it a little bit more, and
but
despite
would
it being so cute, it's ball-breaking hard.
yeah, I know that is hard. But would you call Mega Man a Souls-like then?
Mega Man is basically run and gun, mostly.
Yeah, I would put them in the same category more, but maybe I didn't play it enough.
Again, it has big boss fights, it has consumable healing items that restore after you take a rest. It has bonfires in a way of benches. It has a lot of Souls-like elements.
Well, you do have balloons as checkpoints in Sonic. You do have big boss fights, which can take a while in Sonic. I wouldn't consider Sonic being a Souls-like.
You also when dying dropping your progress point, which at the same time currency.
Okay. Hmm. Hi Baron. Yeah, I know that
Hi,
Sonic is a
Baron.
platformer, but we're kinda trying to figure out where's the line from one area to another. Because for me personally, Hollow Knight, I wouldn't call it a Souls-like. But again, I didn't play it enough, maybe. So
Yeah, yeah. If you
that's
played
that's
it long enough, it's definitely be like yep, a lot more similarities than that.
mm. Yeah, I just compared it to a game that has similar mechanics like the checkpoint in the middle, and actually
And again,
Sonic is a good
Souls like
example. You
not
do
really. Better example
yes,
would
you drop
better
your
example
rings.
with Hollow Knight would be Metroidvania.
Yeah,
And if you look at Dark Souls, it's Metroidvania as well.
yeah, true. It's yeah, that's the thing. Where do you have that line where it's differentiates it from a different genre, you know?
General direction of the community, basically.
So then my favorite genre is Souls-like Metroidvania roguelites. That face. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I mean, the I mean, um, Dead Cells, I mean, the Metroidvania part, you need those runes to get further in the game and in areas that you normally wouldn't be able to reach. It's a roguelite because, well, you die, then you have to start again, but you still have your unlocks. And it's a Souls-like because the boss fights are not the easiest and they take a while. So it got everything in one if you see it like that.
It doesn't have this Metroidvania structure when you have shortcuts and waybacks, teleporters, and whatnot. It always
Yeah, true. You don't have
procedurally generated area, and you basically walking from point A to point B.
yeah,
Roguelike, basically a better description for that.
yeah, that's true. You don't have the backtracking of a Metroidvania, but you do need to get different upgrades to be able to get in areas that would normally be not reachable.
Yeah,
Like the vines, for
that's
example.
Metroidvania for you as well.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's a mix of all those genres if you look close at it.
Maybe
You don't
not
have a
Souls-like, but yeah.
you don't yeah, you don't the Souls part that's missing is the bonfire basically. You die, you're dead. In Vagante, for example, you do have a similar mechanic where you can revive a friend if you played in co-op. Then you have a bonfire and stuff, and then you can revive a friend. Solo, you will not see it because well, you're dead. But if you get to the next area, you do have a bonfire. I think it's also called bonfire and you heal, but you don't get back to the last area. You continue to the next one. Blasphemous, yeah, just from the difficulty, yeah.
I would say Blasphemous kinda get into Souls-like category also by the general story. Souls-like always okay, specifically Souls games, always in the middle of the apocalypse. Specifically, big bad thing already happened, and you basically at the verge of getting into nothingness.
Mm.
Blasphemous actually getting its story in the same category. You already can't affect stuff that will turn your world into what it's turning in, but you can try to change the outcome.
You're basically not a hero saving the world, but the one after shit went down trying to stay alive.
Trying to make it less fucked up.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, I need to continue with Blasphemous as well. I don't know, don't have that much time. Yeah. roughly 1.5, 2 hours.
So yeah, this is definitely a good question when one genre ends and other another starts. But as I told to my brother, so talking about where hard rock and where is metal. If
Yeah,
you have questions, just look at the community. If community look like that's hard rock. If community look like that's metal.
yeah. This game looks kind of interesting, but seeing mostly negative. Huh. Combat-driven Metroidvania experience. Uh-huh.
Well, remember that game that contain only boss fights, and every time when you triggering a boss fight, you must take a curse on yourself to make it more difficult for you to beat the boss.
The Curse of the Dead Gods?
No, not Curse of the Dead Gods. This game contains only boss fights, and I don't remember. You either played it as Discord exclusive.
Oh, yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah. Something with S. Sinner. Sinner.
maybe I
That's the
don't
one you mean.
remember.
Yeah, yeah, it's Sinner. A game I really
So,
was looking forward to because I definitely like the art style.
so
But yeah,
for me, game Sinner is hardcore game, and it's really bad type of hardcore. It made artificially with bullshit mechanics just to prolong your playtime into country fun time.
yeah, it's it's weird. Oh, did you buy it? Okay, cool. Yeah, Lothar knows about that bundle. That retro FPS bundle.
That
Yeah,
I
bunch.
saw full containment of this bundle, and a lot of those games are great.
Yeah,
Personally, I played I Am Fury, I'm a di- I'm a Divi-
Medieval.
I'm a Devil, and Dusk. There are also I didn't play Hayden from this bundle. So though, oh yeah, by the way, those games, those old FPS games, oh, they're hard.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They're hard, but they also, again, they're really satisfying. It's not like it's not like you just overcoming one bullet sponge to get some stupid loot. You're doing it just for the sake of doing it and being badass in the process.
Yeah. There have been a few really nice harder FPS games over the last 2 years or so.
Yep.
Um,
Again, Dusk, Iron Fury,
yeah.
Hayden as well.
What I really like, it's not in that bundle sadly, but there's a roguelite FPS game which feels a lot like Hexen from back in the day,
Hmm.
Into the Pit. That's a fucking fun game, and it only costs $15. So this is really a lot of fun. You do choose your different weapons and stuff, like in a roguelite, so you upgrade yourself and stuff, and it can be pretty hard. It looks really nice. Performance is freaking insane. Another game that's also going in the hardcore old school direction is Prodeus. Also played that in Game Pass, early
Rust.
access. It's also looking like a mix between modern and old school game and graphics, because you have pixelated textures and stuff like that. Dusk I didn't add yet, but it's on my wishlist, so really happy to have that bundle. There are actually 3 or 4 games from my wishlist.
I'm a little bit upset with Dusk developer because they updated Dusk on Steam to add a weapon wheel and whatnot, but they didn't update it on GOG.
Yeah, updates on GOG are a bit more complicated, so they take a bit longer normally.
It was half a year still since that update.
Well, I don't know, but that's normally I do know that they barely come out at the same time. Oh, and they were working on a DLC at that time, so yeah.
Maybe. Again, Wrath, the game from creators
Yeah.
of Iron Fury.
Hedon Bloodright, a friend of mine actually did a review of it, and that seems to be a really fun game. Also, just 14 euros. I mean, that's freaking.
I think it's the second game. And this game started as total conversion mod for Doom. It's even run on GZ Doom.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So this game is made on heavily modified Doom engine. Freaking Doom engine.
Yeah. And this is on a Duke Nukem engine.
Yep, built engine. And how the full name of this game?
For some reason, it asked me if I want to play a new game or continue, and I continued, but I didn't have the save in Steam, so guess that took that from the DRM or so.
Oh yeah, Wrath the Aeons of Ruin.
Yeah, but that's also not in the bundle, sadly.
Yep, but this game made on Quake engine.
Wait. Is it Wraith? Yeah. There was some controversy about that game lately with updates and stuff.
I haven't heard about that, to be honest.
It's what we want in those games, not to mention it really gives that feel from the past. Yeah, art-wise as well. Love what Dusk really has that Quake 1 feel. Yeah, that's true. Why do I not find that game now?
It's hard to find since
Oh, it's in a
Wrath of Righteous was released.
It's in a combined bundle with Iron Fury now.
Makes sense.
Another game on my wish list, which is also similar, is Graven. That's a nice bundle, actually.
I completely forgot that they also making Graven.
Yeah, so why didn't I find that in the store? Yeah, people were complaining about the last few updates taking too long and something.
Oh yeah, if we're talking about stuff, how frequent updates, then developer definitely take it with time.
Yeah. Yeah, but they post every 2
I
weeks, so.
I don't think that we will get another episode in early access release. I kind of have a feeling that even if they finished the second episode by this point, again, I'm saying even if, I'm not sure if they finished it or not. I don't think that they will release second, third, or any other episodes in early access format. And the first episode that we have It's only one area short of full episode to be unlocked.
Hmm.
Basically, you don't have a final area and a big bad boss fight in the end. I mean, big bad boss fight to finish the area.
Yeah, this is based on Quake 1 engine. Those are cool. Oh, and since I see that here, didn't Tencent buy 1C Entertainment lately?
Yep.
Right? So they're trying to become the next Microsoft buying studios. But, well, there are not that many games that make you write home, I think. Not like they are getting a shit ton of really good IPs or so.
Most of those games are my childhood. Well, mostly use.
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of interesting games in there, but eh. If you would ask somebody, hey, name me a game from 1C Entertainment, I don't think that anyone would know any game right out of their head. I mean, I know
can
a lot of
go
those games.
to my disc collection and pick several.
I mean, I have a bunch of them, as you can see, like King's Bounty and stuff, but just from the company's name, you know, yeah, I heard or saw that somewhere already, but it's not like you can say, yeah, Fallout is from Bethesda, you know?
Well, they used to be local for us.
Mm.
Mostly local.
Yeah. But yeah, that's that last bundle on Humble, pretty awesome. And price wasn't too bad as well. It's so weird. 1079 or something for the whole bundle, and for the bundle with less games, 1029 or so. And I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck you. And there's another bundle out where I would like 2 games, but I need to get the big bundle because the smaller bundle, which would be $2 or $3 cheaper, doesn't have those games in there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I'm kind of skipping that because I think the biggest costs 17 euros or something.
Yeah, I know what
And
you're talking about. When you're looking at this bundle and it was like, hey, I have this game in it. Okay, how much money you want for this?
yeah.
Can I have only this one and everything that's up about that? Can you leave that and give me only this one?
Yeah. It's what is it? The heroin bundle or something? Oh no, what was it? No, that was the Boomer bundle. What was the other bundle? I can't
Which,
open it now.
basically, which game you're talking about?
There are 3 or 4 bundles right now on Humble, and that's the one that came out before the Boomer shooter bundle.
Okay, heroin bundle.
Yeah, I was right? Yeah, just when Germans say that, it sounds like heroin, you know, like like that
Why
shit.
I said it any different?
So yeah, so it's some words are just bad to say. 2 meanings, different writing. But yeah,
Bundle with
there's
one product.
yeah,
Tacoma is the
yeah,
lowest tier.
yeah. Well, Tacoma was in several bundles and free on Epic, so
God damn it! Good stuff. Well, subjectively good stuff. Starting only with tier 3.
yeah, pretty
Not
much,
like
yeah.
Celeste is a bad game, but damn.
Yeah, that's it. The lower tiers you either don't want or already have. So which
Yeah,
is kind of sad. I mean, there are some good games in there, but yeah, if you own them already, Oh, and I got the refund for bundle choice, which was automatically paid last month, and I didn't wanted it, and I didn't pause it. So yeah, I got in touch with them, and pretty much a day later or 1.5 days later, I had the money on paper already. Then I read the message in the ticket, and they said, "Hey, no problem, we refunded that, but might take 2 to 3 days." So I read the message that it will take a while. On the same day, I already received the money. So that's how fast that is. And another company, Kinguin, is making it so hard to get my payout. It's insane, seriously. The moment I have my money from Kinguin, I'm done with that job. I'm not posting the affiliate link anymore. I'm gonna look for another store to partner up because they really piss me off. I tried to get my payout for over a month now, and
Oh,
now the last reply. So they replied 1.5 or no 10 or 12 days ago, and yesterday or so I got another reply mentioning that the ticket support system and stuff, they are related or located in the war zone now, basically, so it takes longer. And I was like, that
so they
problem.
basically have a sweatshop tech support.
Yes, some like that. I don't know, but I said, hey, guys, I'm having that problem before the war started, so. And it's supposed to be paid out since February 15th already. I have the invoice that
It's
tells me.
almost March 15.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like I said, Humble. I wrote them a ticket. They replied the same day. Yeah, send us the transaction ID from PayPal. I replied with that. The next reply was, "Hey, will take 2 to 3 days," and the money was already there. The others show me an invoice. Hey, here we paid out. There's your email address. That's that. That's that. And I'm like, yeah, that's all right. But here is my whole log from beginning of February until now. There is nothing with any of your companies here. So where is it? And it's not like $5. It's almost $50. And I was like, okay, you know what? The last few euros that came to my account the last few days, add them to that, because then I have the whole payout and then I'm done with you. Because seriously, nah. I loved that store and never had issues before, but I tried to get my money for 1.5 months, and that's just unacceptable. So, and they're not that cheap
It's
anymore.
not like you're the first person who had this affiliate problem with Kingwin, but it before current event it happened more than once with our people.
Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, doing business with them for years and never had issues, but now they take days to reply. Back a year or two ago, yeah, you got a replay right away. So, nah. But there are
Right,
different other stores, and then I
right
just go
now they're
somewhere else.
bigger.
Just going somewhere else. I don't care. Not my loss, it's their loss. And what's making the store expensive sometimes? The freaking PayPal fee. I don't pay that anywhere else. I think it's mostly on Kinguin. So, well, anyway, back to kind of the topic. So,
Let's also mention games like I Wanna Be the Guy or I Wanna Be
the Boshi.
the Deboshi. That game, though, this kind of games that deliberately made to or get over it. Those
Yeah,
games that made to induce stress in you. I I basically never get appeal of those games. Don't get me wrong, I played in several hacks of Mario Brothers, which was a little bit unfair, softly speaking. But when it's basically so hard that you should that you can't beat the level without knowing where traps, without knowing what's going to happen, and without knowing what's going to happen to you in the next area. I'm calling that bullshit.
Well, those games, I think those games mostly have viewers in mind because
Yeah, yeah. To see how somebody raging on stream in YouTube video or something like that,
yeah,
scream
exactly.
like a baby or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not sure how
Like
many
Five Nights at
people.
Freddy.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people would actually play those games just for their own entertainment. I mean, um, I did play a few off stream as well, but mostly to see what's going on, what's happening and stuff. Um, one game that is kinda cute and you think, ah, yeah, nice graphics and stuff, is Ares Action. Ares Action looks really
Yeah,
such a cute game, but holy fuck, that's unfair. I mean, those games are made to just make you rage. It's not any of those games, or at least most of the games, are not relying on skill, but on memorization of the level and the traps.
yeah. Mem- specifically on muscle memory when when you're conscious, like I think there's something might be there, but your fingers already made input to for you to dodge the trap.
Yeah. So there was another game I saw not too long ago. PewDiePie was playing that, and oh my god, it was hilarious. I mean, the game tries you so hard, but in a funny way that you cannot really be too mad about it in the game. I mean, in here, it just some shit comes from somewhere that you don't see or anything. And the other game that he was playing, um, you were not even a big character or anything. It was more a pixel character, and he finally made it over to the other side, and then the level basically on that side kinda like flipped over to get him. So you thought it was like a step that you had to get over or something, and it was like nope. So you had to basically, you started on the left side. In the middle was a bigger block and some other block that was moving on the bottom, like a swing, and some spikes or something on the end. But you basically had to jump on the swinging thing to get on the platform, then on the swinging thing again because the platform was dropping or something. Then you had to land on the right side and right away jump in the direction of the middle again so you don't get smashed by the thing that drops over. Land on that side again, and then something else happened. So it's like 4 or 5 things happening in a row. If you know them, they're easy to overcome. But the first time you see them, you're like, what? Where did that come from? But in a funny way. So it was kind of hilarious to watch. I don't remember the name of the game. I would play that actually. But Ares Action, yeah, I have 1.5 hours in it actually already. But it's just, yeah, it's some
Unfair to
situations.
say lightly.
Yeah, some situations are actually kind of funny because you expect something to happen, but not what will happen, and then you're like, oh my god. if you play I Wanna Be the Guy or the Boshi, there's shit happening that, I mean, there's like a huge spider from somewhere. It's just a pixelated picture that comes down from somewhere. You don't have any fucking idea where it comes from and when
And
it
every
comes.
single pixel of that sprite, specifically sprite, not spider itself. So
Yeah,
square sprite, everywhere in the square, death zone.
yeah, basically. So it's like that big on the screen. The screen is like this, and the spider is like this, and you're like, what? So yeah, this is. I know somebody who speeds run. I want to be the Boshi.
Well,
So
again, those games really rely on your physical memories.
yeah,
It's not like muscle memories. It's not like outcome going to be different because enemy spawned a second earlier or second after that you expected. It always will be the same.
yeah. So that makes it kinda easier for speedruns because there's no RNG or something like that. But
Yep. All you need is memorization.
yeah, it's meh. Now I rather play games that are a bit fairer, not like a game where you see a blue sky and then you jump and bam! No, here's a block, you asshole. Ah, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Uh, hmm. A hard game I would maybe like to be able to play, but I just cannot do the controls is Meat Boy, for example. And Celeste is also a pretty hard game that I cannot continue after a certain point because that stupid clone is just in my way. It's hard already from the jumping and the platforming and stuff, but that's doable. But when you get chased by something that touches you and kills you, that's where I lose my fun. And that's sad because Celeste is a really nice game. Looks awesome, audio is fun, the controls are pretty fun, but that one guy, I feel like I'm just playing the last level of Prince of Persia, the original, where
Mhm.
you fight against your mirror, basically. Yeah, that was my first. You could almost call it a Souls-like because every freaking fight was really hard in Prince of Persia, the original.
Well, Prince of Persia from a different era of gaming.
Yeah, true, true.
If we're gonna look at this era of gaming, a lot of modern journalists would be like, "Oh, it's the Dark Souls of whatever, about
Yeah,
everything." Contra is the Dark Souls of action scrollers. What was it?
yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on NES, first one, is the Dark Souls of action adventure.
No, that was actually way too easy. What was the game?
I'm
Uh,
specifically
t-
remembered the first game because of that underwater section.
one really hardcore game is Battletoads.
Oh
That's
yeah,
that's the
also
Souls.
Dark Souls of again action adventure.
Y- Yeah, yeah. You have more different genres in there. Like you have racing sequences and stuff, and that sequence is basically where it ends for the normal players. Or yeah, you already have to be pretty good to even get there, but that's where the hardcore cut is. You have a wave race, a jet ski kind of sequence.
I more the know what you're talking about.
Holy
This sequence
shit!
always broke my runs.
Yeah, I never got past that, and I think I never gonna try. And I think I had
Same.
Where was the? I think that was it in Game Pass or something? I did play the new one, but it's I don't know. It's is that not on Steam? Wait, here Battletoads.
Battletoads.
Yeah,
I actually don't know.
yeah, I played it on Game Pass. It shows Xbox logo at the beginning, but it's still a freaking hard game.
I don't know. I don't like how it looks.
Yeah, me neither. The art style is I don't know. It reminds me of the comic shows that came out a few years ago, like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic has a similar style, and I really hate that. It can look cool when you have those more edgy characters and not that much roundness and stuff, but if characters look so much different than they used to look in the past, it's just not working. It's like
For me,
I don't know.
biggest problem is they look too freaking cartoony.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. Yeah, I mean
They,
it's
for me, they don't look like badasses. And I know you can draw a badass cartoon character, but those guys, they don't even look cool. And
mm,
if you look at main villain, she's neither hot or look good.
yeah.
At least
So
in this iteration.
what was the other game that they remade? Um, it was also the same kind of game where you walk sideways, but you can also go in the back and fight.
River City Ransom.
Huh?
Maybe River City Ransom.
No, no, no. It was one of those games that didn't get an update for 26 years. I know that shit, but I don't remember the
Quake?
freaking.
No.
No, no, no. It's like this kind of game where you walk to the side, like Golden Axe, for example. No, it was not Double Dragon. Fuck, a similar game like Double Dragon just came out 2 years or 3 years ago. Was it Streets of Rage? Streets of Rage, yeah, Streets of Rage. That had a nice remake or reboot, and does a much better job than Battletoads, for example.
Oh, I actually missed Streets of Rage release.
Oh, you did? Oh, it looks awesome. It plays like the original. It can be hard, but this is a really awesome reboot. That's how you do a reboot. It looks true to the original, but with nicer art style. You have the same animations, basically the same attacks, all that stuff from back in the day, but modernized and new characters, old characters. This is a really good game, really nice, and it came out on my birthday 2 years ago. I need to continue this, but yeah, it can become pretty hard. So
Well, I know about River City. River City. What was that? Ransom. I don't remember how a new one is called. But yeah, again, the same thing. Definitely made with spirit of the original. Definitely hard. Definitely well enjoyable.
that's the Retro City Rampage that I have.
Uh, if I'll describe Retro City Rampage, then Saints Row but 2D.
Yeah, or the original GTA.
It definitely on Saints Row side because of all this loony stuff that's happening in it, and
Yeah,
also
okay.
a lot of references and other stuff.
Okay. Just from the looks and the art style.
Yeah, looks and art style like GTA, but other stuff that underwater level.
That's also funny. A lot of people I think a lot of people don't realize that GTA was a top-down car driving game, basically. You could walk around, but it kind of started.
It took too much time to walk around.
Yeah, well, yeah, but yeah,
I played
top-down
original GTA
pixel.
and GTA 2 on PlayStation, so yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I played it too, so I know it. It's the same with um Postal or Duke Nukem. Duke Nukem, the original Duke Nukem's platforming games,
Yeah,
action platformers. But
I never played them.
oh, I did. They're well, I think I even have them.
I played two PlayStation 1 games. I don't remember what the one one about time travel and one named Land of the Babes.
Mm-hmm.
And I played Duke Nukem 3D, basically the only good Duke Nukem when it comes to shooters.
Yeah, it's still that's a timeless classic. That's just an awesome game.
Years after that, I knew that Duke Nukem 3D is good game, but whatever I played with Duke Nukem game wasn't that good.
Hmm. Yeah, 3D is really nice. You can still play today with updated renderer and better graphics and stuff. So yeah, if you
And
talk
you can
about
even take Duke Nukem 3D 20th anniversary and put it into race and play in new levels without stupid programming from Gearbox.
hmm, yeah, but
Yeah,
still works.
20th anniversary awful.
Yeah, I was actually I was tempted to get it just for the new missions, but yeah, well, I have the original, so
Without raise, those new levels not worth it.
hmm,
Uh, if you take even if you take this new levels, I would say I love them, they're worth it, but you must never play them with engine that Gearbox made for it.
hmm. Yeah, so talking about old school hardcore games, one of the hardest platformers that I played back in the day was Commander Keen. That's a
Back
freaking hard
then,
game.
hard stuff was just how we had it.
Yeah, yeah, true. But compared to other platforming games, this was on on another level. For those
Maybe.
who don't know, that was basically the first game id Software created. 1990. That's when I went to California.
Yeah, and that the game series that basically killed Tom Hall desire to work in id Software because Carmack didn't want to continue it.
Okay. Well, there were I think three parts. Three and a fourth unreleased one that came out a few years ago. So yeah.
Well, Carmack was busy with making the Quake engine work.
Yeah, well, the Doom engine.
No,
Uh,
specifically Quake. It was
Not
already
back
at the
then.
time of Quake.
With Commander Keen?
No,
No. That came out 5 years 6 years before Quake. Doom came first, but it's
Yeah, I know.
it's the id Tech engine anyway, so it's not like the Doom or the Quake engine, it's the id Tech engine. But yeah, if you want to have a hardcore game from the past and a platformer, yeah, get Commander Keen. Enjoy. Yeah, Keen
Just
Dreams.
get ready to
Eat your pogo
see
stick.
how. What I want to say is to see how DOSBox work.
Yeah, 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 that's true. I didn't know they pulled Keen Dreams. You can get the old school original Commander Keen, but Keen Dreams is gone. Okay. It's back on the store? No, it's not.
I just
Ah,
learned that every Transformer game was pulled out from Steam.
yeah, I guess that was because of Bandai license or something.
Hasbro.
Hasbro.
Looks
Are they
like
all gone? Really?
you mean Commander Keen?
Transformers Battlegrounds is left.
I don't even know what this game is. I mean, good one. Transformers War for Cybertron, Transformers Fall of Cybertron, and Transformers Devastation. I don't even know what the battlegrounds are.
The Battlegrounds is like I guess that's a tower defense like game. Local multiplayer. I don't know.
You know, I think I kinda remembering
Oh.
Transformer games with similar, not I'm not saying the same name, but similar-ish game, and it was on Android. And this game was microtransaction hell.
Yeah, that could be the Battlegrounds game. But yeah, I think it is related to license issues.
Looks like Activision lost license for Transformers.
This is also a Square Enix game, right? What is fucking wrong with Square Enix? Are they living in a even weirder dream world now? This game, Forspoken, when that comes out, the base game costs 80 euros. I mean, where are we now? In fairy tale world? Or where they will fail so hard just because of the price tag. The digital Elux costs 105 euros.
You remember how Bobby Kotick was saying stuff like, if he could price games higher than $60, he will price games higher than $60. So
Well, this
Square
game,
looked at this quote and was like, okay, higher than $60, then higher than $60.
I mean, there's not one game on the planet that's worth 60. 50 is just the end of the line. It's just the fact. 50, done. 60, yeah, give us extras. 80, give us freaking season pass. 80 for the base game? As much as I'm interested in that game can go fuck itself. I will not ever get that game before it's not 20 bucks or so. Even less, I guess, because Square Enix, for me personally, Square Enix is on the same level as Bethesda, actually a bit
No,
lower.
they're worse than this.
Yeah, actually lower, because besides Tomb Raider, there's nothing that they have. Nothing. It's all shit now. Everything they release is shit. I was looking forward to
They
Babylon's
still have
Fall.
Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy
Yeah.
15 was good.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's also Square Enix. But besides that,
Oh, Dragon Quest 11, but Dragon Quest 11 is basically Enix, part of Square Enix.
Yeah, so I was kind of looking forward to Babylon's Fall. Then I realized they want
Yeah,
70 euros for that. It's a new IP. It's not like they're releasing a new reboot of Tomb Raider or something like that and say, yeah, you know Lara Croft, you know the game. This is a big franchise. Let's ask 70 bucks. No, they release a completely new series nobody has ever heard before. Nobody has any connection to it. They ask 70 bucks. Why don't they ask 45 and make the game popular? No, they kill it right away. 109 reviews.
it's cost 5,000 rubles before this price was
What
put
is
before
5,000?
all this stuff happened. It cost 5,000 rubles base game and 8 fucking thousand rubles for digital deluxe.
How much is 5,000? I have no relation to it.
Just go with absolute numbers when minimal wage uh, minimal wage in Russia by the law shouldn't be lower than 12,500 rubles.
Okay, so if you want to have the deluxe edition, you basically have to work just for that. You don't eat, you don't drink. It's 1 month salary to get a
It's
game.
more than 1 month because the biggest part of the salary, well, at least 1/3 of the salary you will give to have place to live in.
Yeah, exactly. So you save up for a few months to buy a game. Yay! But it becomes the same here for me as well. I mean, if I don't get money from my self-employment job, I have 450 bucks a month. That's it. So my rent is 452. So, yeah. But I was looking forward to this game and seeing that it has mixed reviews and most of them, or a lot of them are negative already. And only 109 reviews, which means basically nobody bought this game. So,
And most helpful is a negative one.
yeah.
Second
So
one negative as well. Third negative. Fourth negative. Fifth negative. Sixth positive for me.
the biggest problem for this game, and this is just that should be punished by law, it has microtransactions. A 70 euro game. So this is basically they mentioned that in pretty much every review. It's a 70 euro free-to-play game with added microtransactions. So you basically get a free-to-play game with no extra content. You still pay 70 bucks for that. And then you have an in-game currency that you buy with real money. So this game is doomed. This is dead on arrival. Yeah, no, there's nothing you can say about that. It's just fuck Square Enix. Seriously, they can go fuck themselves. Seriously, this is as much as I was interested in this game. Nah. Wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy also from Square?
Yep.
Yeah, right. I didn't. I mean, 60 bucks. Okay, Guardians still more expensive than it should be, maybe, but we have a huge license, we have Marvel license, we have a huge soundtrack.
Disney put their hand and said no more than everybody else. I think Disney might affected price policy.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. You mean with the maximum price?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
At least maximum for the base game.
that might be. But this would be a game that could work with $70 just because of the big licenses it has.
Don't
Babylon.
give ideas.
No, but yeah, I mean, they try. I mean, they come out with a
Okay.
completely new series nobody ever heard of. It's not, there's not one game of it, Forspoken, and they ask for $80.
And
It's
Babylon
like,
as well.
it's like I would start a car company and bring out an awesome car, costs 500,000 because why not? I mean, it's on the same level like a Maybach or something like that. Nobody would buy that because nobody fucking knows me or the freaking car. So why would I ask that much money when I come out with
Yes.
something new?
It's not like it's something new. It's because you don't have this level of prestige behind your back yet.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody knows shit about it. It's like if any company that you never heard of comes out with a new phone that's the best phone ever produced and you never saw anything from them, you will never know because why would you risk getting it even if it might be really good but it costs three times as much?
On the pricing.
Yeah.
If we look at iPhones, if iPhones didn't have this big PR company behind them, they wouldn't be half as good sellers as they are.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's way overpriced. The new iPhone, friend of mine said something, it costs around $2,000 or so. For a fucking phone, for $2,000, I buy a tablet with a SIM card, I buy a laptop with a SIM card, and an Android phone. So I get 3 freaking devices. Why buy one phone? I mean, at least now, after 10 or 12 versions, I think they figured out how to produce displays that don't shatter in a billion pieces.
They
Because
still shatter.
yeah, okay, fuck them. I mean, my Google phone, I can
It
just drop
might
it.
not shatter because you dropped it in the wrong place, but it will shatter whatever.
Yeah, it's just stupid. But yeah, I
That's
get.
basically the point of the glass. The point of
Mm,
the glass to preserve what be beyond the glass.
mm,
Glass might be shattered, but it made to be shattered to preserve sensor and
mm,
display.
mm. Well, you can throw it away afterwards anyway.
Yeah, because replacing this shit would be at least half of the phone price.
Yeah, it's insane what they ask for repair. But yeah, back to the games. It makes sense for a big name to ask $60 for, but seriously, the other two games, when I saw the price tag of Forspoken, I completely 100% lost interest. I still have it on my. Actually, you know what? I mean, I want to get Babylon's Fall at one point, but definitely not for that price. And
I'm not
Forspoken,
getting Babylon points full, even if it look kinda nice, but again, pre-render cinematic might be a little bit different from gameplay. Maybe it
yeah,
looks good, but I
but
don't know.
yeah,
For that price tag, this game can just go into forgotten bin.
yeah, definitely. And a lot of people, and to be honest, I didn't mind too much about the main character in this game now in Forspoken. But no offense, looking at $80, I want my character to look fucking badass. And she just looks like could be any NPC female character. There's
Or
nothing
hot
to
as
that.
fuck.
Yeah, there's nothing to that character that makes her stand out of any other series or franchise. So this will be a fail. This will be a mega fail. This game will fail really hard, mostly because of the price tag. And I see that game a month after release at
I
40
wanna
bucks.
add mostly because of the price tag at this point. I think it might fail a lot harder when we will see the full game. Maybe because it will be broken or stuff like that. You can't be sure right now.
Yeah, it's the forum is not too happy about the game at all yet, already. So
And again, we could look at. For me, Elden Ring was most finished release of next gen games.
mm,
It was less broken than everybody else that was released in last 5 or 6 years. I'm more than sure that Forspoken will be broken in one way or another.
yeah, this is basically. I'm glad it's $70 guaranteed flop. What's wrong with Square Enix? $70? Are you guys crazy? The game looks cool, but no game is worth 70. Here in my country, it's $350. The minimum wage is 1,000. So 1/3 of the minimum wage. This is absurd. Elden Ring, for example, is being sold for 200.
From Russia.
Yeah,
Just based by those pricing that he's talking about, it's definitely from Russia.
yeah. Somebody mentioned 6,000 rubles or so. Pre-order, yes or no? Fuck no.
Yeah, I can see that.
I have to reply here. This is.
Again, if we're talking about current conversion rate of ruble, it might not seem that bad at first, but when you put minimal wage in comparison of game price, you're already going to ask questions like, why?
Wait a second. I just realized something. They talk about $70.
Mm-hmm.
We have to pay 80 euros. That's much more than $70.
Eh?
Yeah. Or is it 70 is $70 80 euros? That could actually be.
It shouldn't be. Euro was more expensive than dollar.
Yeah. So if it's $70, yeah, it's around 80 euros. Yeah, that's kinda true.
$70 is 64 euros. 80
Yeah, well then.
euros is 73, 80. No,
So we pay over $80 basically.
you paying 87.50.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem that we have a lot. That it's either it's 1-to-1, so $70 would be 70 euros, which would be fairer, but still more expensive for us because yeah, it's like 75 or $80 actually. So yeah, for me, being in Germany is. I mean, besides the fact that in Russia with income and stuff, that's different, but we basically pay the most on the whole fucking planet. And then we're the one getting chains for stuff that's not rated on Steam or something, and we cannot even get those games. So yeah, I mean, this is fucking. So yeah, then I have to. Fucking bullshit.
We kinda did. Let's do this short one.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck no. Yeah, this game is already dead before it even arrives. This is kind of sad because it looks kind of cool and all, but yeah, no. And they ask for, if people ask for, "Oh, please several costumes." Seriously, dude, it's freaking $80. I mean, besides the fact that there should be a bunch of costumes
This
in there,
game
but
should come at least with a copy of Final Fantasy 15.
yeah,
free.
something like that. Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's just okay. It looks like it could be fitting in the Souls-like. That's also funny. They already have tags for the game that's not even out, but okay. So yeah, it looks like an interesting hack and slash, but I will never know. I'm not getting that. And I didn't get Marvel review key because of one fact. You had to praise and basically kiss Square Enix ass while you were streaming it. Like, oh, thank you.
That fragile ego.
Yeah,
Seriously.
they really.
Just make good games like Final Fantasy 15 and Dragon Quest 11, and
I
people
did.
will praise you.
Yeah, exactly. I did not ask for the key because it explicitly asks you to praise them and thank them at least every 20 minutes for giving you the key. And with my hatred or with my disliking of Square Enix, I could not do that. I don't fucking... No, you cannot pay me. And if you ask me to like give us a good review or thank the developer, I mean, for every game that I get on Keymailer, I thank Keymailer and the developers for giving me the key, and maybe do that every now and then in between when I take a break or something, but not because I get forced, because I want to. Square Enix, seriously, there was a text like, if you ask for a key, you have to thank Square Enix in a positive way and blah blah blah, even if you don't like the game or anything. Thank you, Square Enix, for providing me with that key. You're an awesome company. Fuck you. Keep your fucking game. I don't care. Nah, I'm not doing that. If you want that from me, you might get the exact opposite. I will get the game maybe at one point for a really cheap price in the cheapest rip-off key store that I find, and then rip it a new one how shit it is. But nah. I'm not praising Square Enix for anything. No. So yeah, no. If you want to try to buy me, there needs to be more money involved. Otherwise, no. I'm not losing my little reputation that I have for a free game. Nah, I'd rather not play that game. It's not like I'm missing any games or something.
Square Enix game, which might
Yeah.
end up as shit.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't mind if that game would be on Epic for the next ever. There's one game I really want to get, but there's not even a store page for that. I hope that will not stay an Epic exclusive. That would be sad because then I'm not playing it at all. Called Kena or something like that. So yeah, looks nice and like a fun action RPG hack and slash kind of game. Really awesome graphics, but Epic exclusive. So yeah, now we're definitely off from the initial topic.
Yeah, we're also off from let's do it short one.
A quick short one, yeah. We're over 2 hours already. Oh wait, 3.
Yep.
3 hours again? What the fuck? Yeah, I mean, I need a break because it's time for a bio break here. So how did we manage to get to 3 hours again?
We're just talking shit.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I guess we can wrap this up here and rant a bit more about weird company decisions and Valve and Steam in the next stream.
Yep.
because
And
I have something to say.
I should say that when we're gonna do the next one is still up in the air.
Yeah, but relatively soon. I guess it will be on 19th or something like that.
In this lifetime.
Yeah, in this lifetime. Yeah.
So yeah,
Maybe, hopefully, eventually.
well, there will be announcement. And you didn't use Digital Homicide Twitter account to tweet about that stream.
I didn't retweet. Yeah, that's true. I'm not that used to it yet, and it's not like we have a lot of followers on it anyway.
Yeah, and as I said, I practically don't see usage in that thing, but yeah, okay.
And something
Ah,
else is missing that I just realized. The flame is missing here. Don't have the flame in the stream at the moment.
oh no.
The animation is missing. Oh! Ah, well. And for some reason, it takes so long to load the freaking overlay. You see the transition,
Yeah,
but then we see everything else again, and then pop. Yeah, maybe I should make a longer transition in between or something. Maybe that helps. Kind of weird.
just don't forget to mute it.
The transition, yeah, that's something that I do every time when I do that now, because in my actual scenes for my regular stream, my transitions were gone. I was like, what? It just basically showed my next scene, and I was like, wait, I was waiting for a 2 or 3 second transition here. What's wrong now? And they're just gone. They're just I cannot even choose them in my transitions. I have to add them automatically. So I added that, and the first thing I did before even changing the time, I went down and went to mute. Because normally it's set on monitor only. That would mean it plays not on my end, but on the end of my stream PC. That's when it blew you away a few times already. So yeah, now that's the very first thing I have to do. And what I do when I have to change the transition, I go in there, scroll down, and set it to mute all or something like that. Basically, on base default settings, it will always be active. There will always be audio, but you yourself, you will not hear it. Only the stream would hear it, so I wouldn't know. And there's no volume slide or anything. It just blows away everybody, and people are like, "Ah, that was loud." Huh? What? Why? And I know my transition, the chain one, that is freaking loud. You hear the chains come from the sides, and then the whoosh whoosh when the door closes. Yeah, I know. That is really loud. I know how loud it is. I heard it, a real one. So yeah, having that on stream. Yeah. All right. Well, that was another fun short 3 hour 15 stream. So Lothar, almost famous last words, because they will be different than normally.
Fuck Epic.
Okay, well, we keep it at that. That's the shit. So, alright. So, I'm gonna mute you here. So, thanks, Lothar, for hanging out with me and ranting about stuff.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Bye, Triton. Bye, everyone.
Alright, so, yeah. That was number 29 of the Digital Homicides Discussional podcast stream thingy. Today's topic was roughly around hard games, mostly about Elden Ring. But yeah. And as always, we started ranting about stuff, and yeah, well. We will do the next stream, I guess, in 2 weeks on Saturday. So that will be March 19th. And because we didn't do one last month, so we wanted to do 2 shorter ones this month. Seeing that this one took over 3 hours, the next one should be a bit shorter because it's related mostly to one developer and one game in particular, which, if you're interested, is Agony, and there's some controversy going around something there, and I want to talk about it because now I'm affected as well. As long as I wasn't, I was like, yeah, slight hiccup, but you will know more about that in about 2 weeks. So thanks again once more, Lothar, for hanging out with me and doing this for 3 years already. And yeah, I might stream a bit later. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, if you want to know, hit the notification here on Twitch or on Twitter to see when I'm going live. So that being said, thanks for hanging out, and time zone appropriate greetings to everybody. Have a good one. Bye.